This is my LEGO video journal update for Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. Today we're going to pick up right where we left off yesterday. You saw me unbox the Cada Attractor, and last night and this morning I put some time into working on that. And let me tell you, that build is a tricky one. In fact, I would venture to say that it's quite possibly the hardest build that I've done. I'm comparing it to the LEGO Bugatti, and the Bugatti was actually easier. So I want to talk about that, but also I want to do some breaking down. Before we do that, yesterday at the end of the video, I kind of teased that Clarkman might be coming home and working on a MOC because that's just what he does. He is able to watch these YouTube videos at school when they have some free time, and it's from a YouTube channel called Brick 101 where they do LEGO tutorials, and apparently that is his passion when he's at school. So he watches these videos and tries to remember what Brick 101 taught him, and then he comes rushing down, he drops his backpack, comes going down the stairs, and then he builds something up, and he did just that yesterday with these little micro villagers and a micro zombie from Minecraft. So if you're a Minecraft detector, you'll probably love what he makes, but I'm going to turn it over to him and let him show you what he came up with, and then I'll be right back with you.
So guys, welcome back to Clark's how to show off MOC things, but also how to build. So first, for how to build, we're going to be doing the Lego zombie. Please collect these pieces now if you need to. Pause the video, go ahead. Here, we're going to get started. So, get a 1x1 blue brick with a lighter blue on top with a 1x1 plate in solid green, light green eyepiece, and then a tile, a green tile. That's your micro mob zombie. Moving on, we have the villager here. Inspired by Brick 101, I am using his technique of the bucket handle for villager arms. So first we're going to start with this 1x1 brown brick with clip piece, 1x1 red plate, bucket handle. Put that like that. 1x1 in tan. And that's your micro mob, zombie, and villager.
I don't know about you, but I think Clarkman's MOC segment might be my favorite part of the show. In fact, I asked him if he wanted that to be a regular thing that we do each day, and he said that he does. So every time that Clark makes a MOC, you can expect that. In fact, if you stick around to the end of this video, he made something this morning too. I'll throw another MOC in at the end if you'd like to see the thing that he constructed while I was working on this, which this is the Cada Attractor. And actually, I have good news about this. You remember yesterday when I saw that second box and I was like, oh my God. Luckily, all that was in there were just tires and rims and the controllers and motors. So it's not as bad as it seemed. These are all of the parts that I still have left, along with all of this. I made it through 88 steps of this build, and let me tell you, it was a doozy. This is totally giving me Bugatti flashbacks, but with that, I felt like every bag that I built was very satisfying and therapeutic. This was causing me just nothing but stress because of like so much happening here. Obviously, you can't tell that it's a tractor yet. If I just showed this to you, you'd be like, I don't know, Greg. It's a spaceship. It's a Slave 1 flying around. No, it's going to be a tractor, and you can kind of see the two big wheels where they're going to be going on the back, and this is obviously going to be the front of it. But there was just so much, and there was actually two spots where I put the wrong piece in and noticed it right away, and I'm just hoping that I caught all of that because it was something putting this together. Let me show you some of the movement on this if you can see it. In fact, let me get some better lighting here. Here at Brickitect Industries, we're very professional, and of course we have all the lighting and camera work that you could ever imagine a single person working on by himself and doing the best that he can, okay? Forgive me, guys. I don't even know if that'll make a difference or not, but here's a little gander. You got two of like the connectors at the bottom here just hanging out of there, which makes it kind of hard to sit up on its own. But I did want to show you the turning of this. You can see how that's moving around, and that's moving, so that's a good thing. I do feel a little resistance on this one, so I might have to kind of move that around. This one feels good though. And it all comes down to these components in here and how they all work together. You can see those gears there. They look like they're lined up pretty good. And then you've got the differential, maybe. I'm just making things up here in the world of automotive things. You can see that spinning down there. What else turns? This turns. It used to. Everything used to turn. Everything used to turn until I put it all together. And then once you lock it in to this, It's just there, and you just have to hope that it's going to eventually work when it's all done, and that's kind of where I'm at. But very complicated instructions to go through. You have to be very careful how you're doing this. This is definitely, like, this isn't even, in my opinion, I'm sure there's probably like 5-year-olds that are putting this together that think I'm a big baby, but like this isn't even 18 plus. This is like 35 plus. That being said, I am happy with how far I got in the first day. We're actually getting into our first like brick built part of this. And that was like the biggest thing for me. That was a surprise at this. I know Cada is like heavy into Technic, but when I saw the front of this, I thought this was more brick than Technic, but you know, it's just the outer cladding of it there. As you can see, the internals are all Technic. I do think that the hardest part is behind me now, and I'm actually very excited to see how this plays out and what it turns into. So I will be chipping away at this here and there each day, and I'll give you updates on how I'm making out with this. But this is my primary project that I'm working on, and I got to get this thing done. Before we move on to the breaking down segment of this, I do want to mention one last thing about Cada if you're getting into this. One thing that's a little complicated is the fact that when you're building this, you don't just build one bag. You build bag 1 and 5. So I dumped out everything here. And that's the scary part, is like when you finish a bag, technically, like this is the finishing of like part 1, I guess. You actually have 2 bags of stuff there. And you use those bag 5, you use that for the next part of this as well, and that part, and that part. So bag 5 is like mostly these connectors and things here. But you have no idea if you actually put them all on or not, because you're always going to have some extra until you finish the last bag, which is bag 4 technically. And then you're like, oh, I have a lot of stuff left over from all of these. You're never going to know. So it's real crapshoot and a gamble when you build these Cada ones. But like I said, so far so good. Don't want to jinx myself, but I think I'm going to be okay with this. Over here by a still incomplete Ninjago City takes us to our next part of today's video, which is the breaking it down segment. This is a set that I built over this weekend. This is 76181 Batmobile, the Penguin Chase, 392 pieces. You may have seen a video on this where I speculated on the future of Lego and what's going to come of it. I think it's a fine little set. But this brings us to the issue that I have with buying Lego sets, and that's that I built it, enjoyed it, I've looked at it, admired it, and now what do I do with it? I'm trying to think what a normal Lego person that doesn't buy thousands of dollars worth of sets each year would do with a Lego set they completed. I guess maybe you'd put it on display on a shelf somewhere. Maybe you'd put it in a bin with some of your other completed models. Maybe you would part it out. I don't know what you do, but for me, like, this is a part of the problem of us always consuming Lego, is that I don't really have a place to display this, nor would I like want to put this on one of my shelves. Like, that's more reserved for like bigger things. So what I ended up doing is I ended up just like building this and then breaking it down and then putting it in my storage room, which isn't really the way that I want to go with Lego anymore. That's what I was talking about my first day of when I made these, is that what I'd rather do with my time in Lego is to build things that come from my mind or a place of creativity, and then, you know, just build it up, enjoy it. It doesn't have to be something that stays forever, but it's just a thing that's like, oh, cool, I made that. This I don't like have the same sense of pride with, and I saw the same sentiment like in the comments too. I don't have pride for building this. Like, some designer made this awesome car, right? And all I did was I bought this, and then I followed their directions to build up the thing that came from their mind. What kind of accomplishment is that? Like, anyone that's 8+ could do that. I want to do something that's like a little more personal to me in Lego, and the direction that Clarkman's pulling me, which is making stuff of our own. So that is, I guess, the problem with my Lego collecting journey in a nutshell as it stands. But that being said, this isn't the direction that we're going forward. This is our past, and our future, I think, has a lot more opportunity. But until then, I've got a lot of stuff to take care of, and it starts here. This is like where you have the animal and you're about ready to slaughter it, and I'm sitting here questioning my decision. I'm thinking maybe I should modify this and make it more like what I want it to be, which is just like a normal car, not necessarily a Batmobile, but kind of to get rid of all of this and get rid of that. And the engine in the back's kind of coolish, but then what am I going to do with it? It doesn't really fit into my Speed Champions line because it's not a Speed Champions set. Oh, Sugar Shack. I think I'm going to stick with the plan. I think I am going to break it down. I looked on Rebrickable just to see if anybody else came up with anything cool for this, and there was like literally nothing on there, unfortunately, because I would have probably modified it, and I could do that. I could be the guy to put it on Rebrickable. What should I do? I'm going to think like investor Greg with this, and also future Greg, where maybe in the Lego library, I'd want to pull this set out and either rebuild it or possibly sell it. If I start messing with it now, that's not going to be a possibility, and I don't think I'm going to get a ton of value from doing that because I already enjoyed this. I experienced the set, so I am going to break it down. Locking it in, final answer, breaking it down. The difficult decisions of a Lego collector. My goodness. Here is the aftermath of what once was the Batmobile. Now I'm going to show you my process for putting these into my Lego library. I've showed this a few other times, I think on live streams in particular, but I'll show you how I do all of this, and I keep my sets preserved somewhat, minus this box. In an ideal world, all boxes would just get recycled, but I am not brave enough to live in that world yet. So what I've been doing, I've taken one step, probably not enough steps, but I take these boxes, and the ones with punch tabs are just the worst. I go like this, get all the sides opened up. You always open it from the left side though, remember that. And I just flatten them. And what happens with this, and this is gonna sound so dumb, and it sounds dumb in my mind right before I'm saying it, I take this flat box and I put it into a box of other flat boxes of Lego. And I do nothing with it. It just sits in the storage room taking up space. Why do I do it? Because I'm not brave enough to actually throw Lego boxes away, unless it's dots. I did throw that one away yesterday. But now for the pieces, let me show you what I do here. This is pretty straightforward. I look at the pieces and I try to find a bag that will accommodate all those. I have a few sizes of these hefty ones, which I prefer to use. I like the sliding seal on the top of these. You might be a Ziploc guy, and if you are, I can respect that, but this is what I've used and they serve me well. So this is a quart-sized hefty bag. And what I do on this little white strip here is I write the set number, and then I write the name of the set. There is some part of me that feels like I should have always been writing like the year that it came out and also the theme. I think I can know what this theme is, but I won't know the year. And if I ever want to break it down like a drawer with DC sets from like 2018, 2020, for example, it's going to get a little harder and I'm going to have to look it up. But for now, this system has served me well. So I open that up and then I put all of these pieces inside of here. Magically, they're all inside that bag. What I do next is I take one of these sheet protectors and I take the manual from the set and I put that inside here. And this goes inside a 3-ring binder that's for DC sets, which you've seen before if you saw my shelf video that went into the storage room. That goes in there. This goes into the DC drawer, and if I ever want to rebuild this set for whatever reason or sell it, all I have to do is go into the storage room and I pull this out of a drawer, I pull this out of a binder, and it's just like new, minus this box, which will go in the box of boxes. And I'm going to show you the box of boxes because it's an embarrassing thing and maybe it'll make you feel better about yourself. As Michael Jackson once said, "You are not alone. I am here with you. Though you're far away," I don't know the next line. That's as far as I can get, but let's go. What am I even doing? Oh Lord, that's the box of boxes. It's rather large, but we just kind of do one of those things, a little shimmy, and there it is. It's good. It's good. Any hoozles, this gave you a little taste of what the circle of life is like in the Brickitect studio. Sometimes we're building stuff up, sometimes we're breaking things down, but there's always creation happening and there's always something going on. And that's what these Lego video journals are gonna be. I was trying to remember what I called this. Lego video journal, just a little taste of what a day in the life looks like and what I'm working on and making progress on. The successes, the failures, and everything in between. For everybody that survived this and you're still with me, I'm gonna send you guys out the way I promised I would, and that is with Clarkman's MOC of his shark that he remodeled this morning. Hope you enjoy. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
This is part 2 of Clark's Minecraft Micro Mobs showcase, whatever it is. Today, now I have improved my Clark the Shark Mecha Jobber with Clark chopper hands. This is based off a Lego set, and I think I've done a pretty good job trying to use pieces out of the set. Only that one piece it's holding the head up at the bottom base there, that white piece, that is collection piece. Sorry guys, I couldn't help it. And I also improved the jaw movement. This used to be on that side, this used to be on that side, so then it only went like...
That's my favorite part.
Now it goes... Since you guys are now in Mr. Sharky's stomach, I guess you guys can't hear me anymore. Also, I've improved that now he can stand. He never used to stand because his toes were so tiny. Now he has giant toes. So I guess that's it. Bye.